listening to the Self-Trust Solution Podcast with Dawn Leday, episode number 35. Today, we're talking about a theme that emerged in this week's coaching sessions, and that is what often lies behind our veil of judgment. This episode is good for anyone who struggles with self-judgment and is open to exploring the gifts that may just be lying behind the judgment. We're going to talk about how we often mistake our gifts for flaws due to both societal norms and self-judgment. That many perceived flaws are actually untapped gifts and learning how to uncover them. How releasing judgment and revealing your hidden gifts can lead to both an increase in self-trust and progress. Is self-trust holding you back? Visit me at theselftrustcoach.com and take the free self-trust quiz. Find out where self-trust may be holding you back and receive instant results along with what you can do in response. Take the free self-trust quiz at theselftrustcoach.com. Now on to the episode. Sometimes a theme emerges in coaching, meaning different individuals separately talking about similar things. And this week, that theme that arose between multiple clients was arguing gifts as flaws. And maybe this will sound familiar to you because we all do it, whether it's calling ourselves unmotivated or scattered or simply not enough. These judgments, upon closer examination, often reveal themselves to be misinterpretations of our true selves and, surprisingly, even hidden gifts. So whether we're applying outdated rules for ourselves or simply comparing ourselves to others, or even sometimes our very own past selves, these judgments cloud the truth and can lead to untapped use of what makes us unique and potentially what's crucial to our path and purpose. So one example of this was a client of mine who was feeling or telling himself he was unmotivated. He was convinced that he's not a motivated person. But upon deeper exploration, he was actually accomplishing many things that he deems most important. Tasks and activities that actually align with his values regarding both his work and his family life. The one thing he wasn't accomplishing is something he enjoys doing, but he isn't finding time for. So he's dedicating himself to tasks that resonate with his values while judging himself for one thing that he used to do and still thinks he should at a frequency that he used to keep when his values and his responsibilities were different. So actually, he was less unmotivated and more dedicated and aligned based on his current values, his current situation, and who he wants to be in this current life. And what's fascinating is when he dropped the comparison to his past self and allowed himself to be proud of what he's accomplishing now, he was able to work in this activity, this thing he loves, but at a frequency that works for him now, that works for his life now. Similarly, I have a client who is calling herself scattered. And what it really was a misinterpretation of her creative process. She was spending time ideating, incorporating ideas in new and creative ways, and engaging in self care activities when she was feeling ill or tired, which are actually all part of her goals and her values. But because she was not getting the exact things done in the exact timing she had done it before, she was judging herself as scattered. She was comparing herself to a strict way of doing things that was actually born from an anything but strict creative process. Her list of shoulds for herself kept her from leaning into her unique creative process that allows her to live her purpose in her path. So, what's the takeaway here? Many judgments about our perceived flaws can, in fact, be dormant gifts or even active gifts waiting for recognition. Instead of attempting to fix or suppress them, we have the opportunity to uncover these qualities and lean into them. But how do we lean into these gifts? It starts with recognizing the judgment. Begin by acknowledging, even saying to yourself, I notice I'm judging myself for being unmotivated, for example. It may seem silly, but this simple act of awareness can diffuse the judgment long enough to invite curiosity in, so that you can then ask yourself questions like, in what ways is this judgment not true? How am I not unmotivated? How can I support myself through the ways it is true? In what ways am I unmotivated? Why might that be? How can I support myself and still move forward or make a new decision that works for me? What can I be proud of myself for in this situation? These questions shift the focus from self-criticism to self-compassion and exploration. They allow you to reevaluate your judgments and see yourself through a new, more generous lens. This process of curiosity and compassion is the key to leaning into your gifts and discovering the unique strengths that may have been concealed by self-judgment. What will you take away from this episode? My goal is for you to question your judgments and lean into your gifts. Reevaluate what you've considered flaws and see them through a new lens, unencumbered by judgment. Develop a practice of looking for and leaning in to your unique gifts. Instead of comparing yourself to others or even your past self, arm yourself with curiosity and empowering questions that transform how you speak to yourself and about yourself. Thank you for joining me today on the Self-Trust Solution podcast. If you've loved this episode, don't forget to share it with your friends and family. And if you have any topics you'd like us to explore in future episodes, email me at dawn@theselftrustcoach.com. Join us next week for episode number 36. Thanks for tuning in and have a trust-filled week. Hey, if you're ready to build unshakable self-trust to achieve your goals and make the impact you're being called to make in a way that feels amazing, join me in Coach for Life. Coach for Life is the coaching program to build self-trust and achieve your goals. Join now at theselftrustcoach.com/Coach for Life program. That's Coach, the number 4, Life program. See you inside.